I talked to one of the refs when she checks in. Hey, we got history from the first game.
There's not just the voice. There's these pictures, that have come out. And I know a lot of people immediately want to say, well, these are, they're not real pictures, right? They're doctored photographs. But this one I saw, I was like, man, that's actually the girlfriend in the background. But let's say this is doctored. There's not the tattoo on the rib cage, right? That usually there is. But it's very difficult because you say that tattoo, but when you're taking a picture, it flips, right? So it kind of gives it like a mirror image. So that's not necessarily the right side. That's his left side, right? So there wouldn't be a tattoo. So you got to take these into account. This one, though, is the legit. Like, if you're looking at photos and you're like, okay, which ones are not doctored?
It was supposed to be just another regular season matchup. Fans had their snacks, jerseys, and high hopes. The arena was loud, the cameras were rolling, and the game was intense. But all of that became background noise the moment a 6-second clip surfaced online. In it, Brittney Griner, towering center for the Atlanta Dream, is seen mouthing something toward Caitlin Clark after a foul. No audio, no context, just her lips moving and emotions flaring. Within hours, the clip went viral. People started speculating. Did she say what it looks like she said? Or is the internet blowing things way out of proportion, like it always does? This wasn't just a spicy moment between two athletes. It exploded into a full-blown cultural wildfire, one that touched every nerve of race, gender, fairness, and identity in modern sports. This story goes beyond basketball. It's about perception, power, and what happens when silence speaks louder than any press release. Because in today's WNBA, what happens courtside rarely stays there. Let's start with the facts. The video, shot from a courtside phone, shows Griner walking off after fouling out. She's clearly frustrated. Her mouth moves slowly, deliberately. Some fans immediately claimed they read her lips saying, "trash f***ing white girl." Others say she clearly said trash call, or maybe just whack. The truth, we may never know. There's no audio and the angle is far from perfect, yet that didn't stop the internet from making up its mind. Professional lip readers offered mixed takes. Some said the frame rate and quality made it impossible to confirm anything. Still, the clip spread like wildfire. Screenshots were pulled, zoomed, and slowed down to microscopic detail. Everyone suddenly became an amateur body language expert, because in this era of digital outrage, a maybe is as good as a headline, and in Griner's case, it was open season. And what did Brittney say in response? Nothing, not a word. No Instagram live, no tweet, no interview clarifying the moment, just complete radio silence. Her social media account stayed dark, her team issued no statement, and that silence made everything worse. Because when people don't speak up, the internet fills in the blanks. Fans started assuming the worst. Commentators begged for clarification. Even ESPN segments started focusing not just on the clip, but on her silence afterward. The media turned her quiet into its own controversy, and that vacuum of communication, it turned a questionable moment into a full-blown conspiracy. Because in the age of viral accusations, silence isn't neutral, it's suspicious. Then came the callbacks. People dug up the 2022 prisoner swap, where Griner was exchanged for Russian arms dealer Victor Bout. Critics already labeled that trade controversial back then. Now, those same voices used it as a foundation to argue that Griner had always been shown favoritism. Imagine if this had been a random college athlete, some said. Would we still be protecting her? The story took on a new tone. This wasn't just about what she might have said, but who she was and what she represented. Her past was being retried in the court of public opinion, and the verdict polarizing. Then it got weird, fast. An old video resurfaced, Griner shirtless in a pool, casually posted on her own Instagram years ago. Now that video was being reposted with captions like "proof she's not a woman" or "WNBA's big lie exposed." TikTok ran with it. Conspiracy accounts stitched the old footage with the recent clip and started creating full-blown documentaries, piecing together voice pitch, bone structure, and Instagram algorithms as supposed evidence. It was ridiculous, and yet it was viral, because scandal sells, and once something trends, logic gets left behind, especially when the target is someone already polarizing. Fact checkers moved quickly. Outlets like PolitiFact and Snopes published breakdowns explaining why the rumor made no sense. Medical professionals weighed in. Sports insiders confirmed that the WNBA has rigorous health requirements and eligibility testing. Griner has been a public figure for over a decade. Her high school, college, and pro records have always been transparent. The WNBA requires medical clearances, physicals, and hormone testing for any trans athletes. None of this is secret. Still, none of that mattered. Once the internet decides on a narrative, the truth becomes background noise. The clip lived on in comment sections, conspiracy forums, and influencer podcasts. In many circles, the correction never even reached the people spreading the lie. This all led to a new question. If there was even a 1% chance that Griner had a biological advantage, shouldn't it be investigated? Fans started demanding testing. Politicians chimed in. Pundits claimed the league was afraid to act because of Griner's influence and the PR mess that would follow. Some argued that ignoring it would permanently damage the integrity of women's sports. Meanwhile, others said this was all just coded hate, thinly veiled racism, and transphobia repackaged as fairness. And once again, the league found itself stuck. Damned if they do, damned if they don't. It was a no-win scenario playing out on national television. Here's what makes it all worse. The WNBA has never been hotter. Caitlin Clark brought a new audience to the league. Ticket sales soared, viewership spiked, jersey sales went through the roof. Sponsors finally started paying attention. Suddenly, everyone wanted in, but the league's growth now rides a razor's edge. Every controversy becomes a potential PR disaster. One wrong move, a bad headline, a botched response, and the momentum crashes. They've worked so hard to build something real, but the same energy that builds hype can tear it down in seconds. And in the age of cancel culture and viral outrage, it doesn't take much. So here's the real question that no one at the top seems brave enough to ask. Should the WNBA launch a full-on, no-holds-barred investigation into Brittney Griner's eligibility and background? Because this isn't just a casual rumor that's going to disappear in 24 hours. It's not a random troll thread or some TikTok conspiracy. This is a growing conversation, fueled by real footage, real silence, and real consequences. And whether you believe the accusations or not, here's what's undeniable. The WNBA's silence is making everything worse. When a clip goes viral, when players are accused of using racial slurs, and when gender identity rumors start trending worldwide, you have to say something. Because right now, the message being sent is loud and clear. We'll protect certain players, we'll ignore controversy, we'll hope it just goes away. But guess what? It's not going away. In fact, the longer they stay silent, the more the questions pile up. Why didn't Instagram flag that topless video? Why hasn't Brittney addressed the accusations herself? Why is the league acting like this isn't a massive PR crisis? Fans aren't asking for drama, they're asking for clarity. Because imagine being a young woman, at 16, 17 years old, dreaming of playing in the WNBA. And now you're watching this unfold, wondering if the system is even built for you. This isn't just about Brittney Griner. It's about every female athlete who's ever laced up sneakers and believed she was walking onto a level playing field. It's about Caitlin Clark, who's breaking viewership records and carrying the league's momentum, only to get fouled, trashed, and possibly disrespected, and no one in power steps up to defend her. It's about Angel Reese, Aja Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, every woman giving 100% while the league refuses to give them the truth. Now let's flip it. Let's say the roles were reversed. Let's say it was a white male player accused of making racial or sexist remarks, with shady identity rumors floating around. Would the league stay silent? Absolutely not. There would be headlines, there would be pressers, there would be apologies, and probably suspensions. So why does this feel different? Why is this being swept under the rug? Because if even one piece of this story turns out to be true, if the league allowed someone with a biological advantage to compete for years without disclosure, then the WNBA has a full-on integrity crisis on its hands. And that's not just about sports. That's about trust, ethics, and equality. Now, we're not here to cancel anyone. This isn't about hate or division. But when you sign up to be a professional athlete, and when your job is to compete in a league that claims to represent women, there's a responsibility to be transparent. You don't get to dodge the hard questions just because they're uncomfortable. And the fans, we're done being quiet. So now we ask you, do you think Brittney Griner owes the public a statement? Should the WNBA issue a formal investigation to shut this down, or confirm what fans already suspect? Or do you think the silence is the answer? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't hold back. This is where real conversations happen. And if you're sick of the media sugarcoating these stories, if you want the truth behind the headlines, and if you're riding with women's basketball because you actually care about the game, not just the politics, then hit that subscribe button, because we're just getting started. There's way more going on behind the scenes than anyone's talking about. In the next video, let's just say the real storm hasn't even hit yet.